sinking till we're halfway underground. It's not over, pull me closer, don't let go, not now. This emptiness is more than I can bear. Would you leave it all behind? Rewind. Would you take me back in time to find peace of mind? Would you leave it all behind? 'Cause I can't keep going like this. Never catch a grip. Would you leave it all behind? Rewind. Would you leave it all behind? Cause I can't keep going like this. Never catch a grip. Would you leave it all behind? Rewind. Would you leave it all behind? Where did we get lost in this? Those summers I do miss. When we were just two kids without a hitch. As soon as our feet hit the ground, we're running out this town. 'Cause we both know there's more to life than this. Would you leave it all behind? Rewind. Rewind. Would you take me back in time to find peace of mind? Would you leave it all behind? 'Cause I can't keep going like this. Never catch a grip. Would you leave it all behind? Rewind. Would you leave it all behind? Cause I can't keep going like this. Never catch a grip. Would you leave it all behind? Rewind. Would you leave it all behind?
Really? He puts it in! 0 seconds remaining! He seems to be playing hard for it. Oh my goodness! Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. KO. It's got the. Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
Davis high off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Now, hold on. Surely this can. Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Palpatine on the goal line. He did not win.
Nearly over.
The sweep. It comes through. The Venom. The improbable. The impossible. The 4-time champions. Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nemesis Gaming League as we are here for week number 6 as this regular season continues to move along. We're officially past the halfway point, heading into the All-Star night coming up this Saturday. All-Star reveal coming a little bit later tonight, but I'm excited to be here. I'm Rockerman, back at the booth, joined by Chunk Light. Chunk, how are you doing tonight?
It's a great Monday night. I'm ready to go down the home stretch and see who can really make a splash and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, no, this is that important time, Chunk. You know, once you pass that halfway point, you know, right after that halfway point, it's kind of do or die time. It's either you make that postseason push, you get in the play-ins, you get in the playoffs, or you know your season kind of goes a little bit downward. And you know, both these two teams, Chunk, one of them is looking really good in that position. The other one, maybe not so much, trying to turn things around here.
Yeah, so far we've seen a really solid season from Grandmasters, going 7-3. Logan Ventus and Yerkes have just been spectacular, only losing games to top teams. On the other hand, Krakens have not been having the greatest of times. They won their first 2 and then lost the next 8. They're on an 8-game losing streak coming into this game, but no better way to end the losing streak than on stream.
Yeah, no, it's the time right now. You gotta make that regain. You gotta try to battle back because they're still in the hunt. They're not out of it for a play-in spot. Only 2 matches back from a play-in spot, and it's a dead heat out there. There's a 6-way tie chunk for the last 2 play-in spots in the Titan League. So things are most definitely getting spicy over there in the Titan League. And looks like we have everyone joined up in the lobby. I know that the Krakens are gonna have a free agent sub here in Ado subbing in tonight for tonight's matchup. Chunk, how does that factor in your prediction? Who do you think is going to take this matchup and get a big win to start off the stream?
Before I thought Grandmasters, but Ado could be a wild card. I'd like to see how he can fit into this Kraken's roster and how he'll play with unfamiliar teammates.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Looks like we're just about to get things going. One quick shout out to Tizzy as we get the kickoff going. Coming back for the resub on 2 months. Big shout out to you. And we are officially underway here for week number 6. We got the Grandmasters in the yellow tonight with Ventus, Yerks, and Logan, all big time Nemesis veterans. And then on the other side, we have the Krakens with Ado, Juicy Leaf, and Sleasley. The Juicy Leaf and Sleasley have been around in Nemesis just a little bit as a massive triple commit comes out early to start things off. And I know, Chunk, you mentioned Ado as the one to watch out for, and I guess we went to be watch out for that man, Mr. Yerks, putting the first goal in the back of the net.
Yeah, really good pass here from Logan. Not expecting that extra touch he got, and they'll put him up early. So far, we've seen Kraken's defense just kind of awkward, kind of getting settled here.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, maybe the first time playing with these, with Ado, trying to run this roster here. It's not always easy when you start playing with people you never played with before. As this one, a big dunk attempt coming through from Yerks, but not quite gonna go. And definitely going to keep our eyes on Ado and see what they're able to do to try to, impact this matchup here. As Juicy Leaf throwing this one in the corner, passing now the midfield, but Ventus, nice challenge they're able to get to it. Logan can't quite make that touch. As Ventus again throws it off the backboard. The ball sent a long way. Sleasley gonna push it down into the zone. Nice 50 comes through towards the backboard. Sleasley trying to drop it out. Nice little pass. Double quick comes through. Juicy Leaf off the backboard. Ado has a shot on net there, but that one not quite able to be saved, and Ado is gonna put it in.
The X Factor coming in early. Logan so awkward on that backboard. Ado puts it. Logan looks like he almost has the save, slows it down, but Ado puts just enough on it to equal up the scoring here.
Yeah, just enough power, and that's what you want to see there from Ado, subbing in this matchup, trying to make an impact. And what better way than to find the Kraken's first goal here as Sleasley with a massive dunk over the top. Sleasley sends it in. The Krakens take the lead.
Yeah, Logan unfortunately got 50'd into a bad touch here, and Yerks dunked by Sleasley. Just impressive speed by Sleasley. Able to find that dunk and put them up here, which is very surprising to see, Rockerman.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people would have predicted that the Grandmasters would be kind of the ones to run away with this series. But right now, the Kraken's showing some good early signs here. As this one sent a long way, just off target. Juicy Leaf can't quite get to it. That one, though, is going to ring off the post. Another great opportunity for the Grandmasters. As this one up to Logan can be blocked away by Juicy Leaf. Miss comes down the midfield. Going to be controlled by Sleasley. But Yerks back to Logan, looking for the shot towards net. Juicy is going to cut that one off. There's another pass infield there. Logan going to take it off the corner. Another dunk coming through. Sleasley going to take control, trying to stay with this one, but going to be 50'd out by Ventus for the moment. Sleasley just sending that one towards the net. It's towards the backboard. A nice touch comes through from Logan, but Ado is coming in again. But Yerks is going to make the save just in time to get that one away. And it looked like there again, Chunk, this Kraken's offense is looking pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I nearly saw a repeat of what happened there. Logan was on the backboard, but Yerks was able to kind of bail him out there on that shot attempt. But they've kind of been on the back foot. Grandmasters here, they need someone to really step up here as a Logan and Yerks will have a pinball shot to equal up the scoring.
Yeah, that's just a great fake dunk right there. He fakes on the touch, just going for the 50, and then Ado tries to get to it, but Yerks just a little bit too big there. Throws that one in the back of the net. 2-2 with just about halfway remaining in this game number 1. Another good answer there by the Grandmasters. Now we'll have to see if the Krakens have some more in them. A nice little pass up top there. Sleasley to the backboard, trying to find another read. He's going to send it up high. Ado trying to get there, but Yerks is going to help his team out there. able to push that one away for the moment. This one popped out in the midfield. Ado gonna make a turn and throw this one to the backboard. Ventus has to make that touch, and he does. It's Sleasley sending this one back around, but Yerkes gonna push it up high. Juicy Leaf gonna take control of that one, just able to send it towards the wall, but Ventus gonna meet him at the summit. As Logan gonna push that one to the corner. Sleasley looking for a touch pass over the midfield, but Ventus again, good cutoff, and that's another one chunk that I've seen from Ventus where he's really good at cutting off those passing lanes.
It's kind of seen the vision here as Logan will score one right as we were talking, but he's been able to find those passing lanes and really cut them off. Logan gets it right over Juicy Leaf. Ventus looks like he was harassing last man back in Sleasley, and Ventus has been all over the field, participating on and off the ball.
Yeah, no, a great harassment by Ventus there. Usually we don't like to see harassment here at the Nemesis Gaming League, but when it results in a goal, we'll take it there as Yerkes comes through and throws another one in the back of the net, and the Grandmasters make it a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to click here as Yerkes has really been dominant for them here with 3 goals already, a hat trick in game 1. Yerkes and Logan have just been all over the field offensively, and Ventus has just been able to cover up the areas where they don't need, and it looks like after that slow start, they have come alive.
As Juicy Leaf is trying to find something, looking for a bump there, the ball just going to drop down, but it's going to be sent away to the side here as Ado. It's going to get dunked out. Juicy Leaf got to try to avoid Ventus there. He is able to get it around him and able to get around Logan. Ventus off the corner. Sleasley going to shoot this one towards the top right of the net. Perfectly placed by Sleasley.
Yeah, great power there. We saw, I believe it was Yerkes in the back of the net. He just can't get to it in time, and a really good, powerful shot by Sleasley, who is leading the Kraken's team, opposed to Yerkes leading the Grandmasters with 600 already here in game number 1.
A big performance here coming through on this one. As Sleasley looking for that one, but just going to be brought back in by the Grandmasters. Juicy Leaf trying to find a 50, but it's sent back in again. This one dropping down. It's just floating in front of the net. Loki trying to get to it, but Juicy is able to get that one out. As Ado trying to send it down to a teammate, but it's going to be popped back towards the net. Bump attempt coming through. Juicy gonna have to control, tries to flick, but Yerkes all over that one, sending it up high for Logan, who's looking for the shot off the backboard. Gonna find the double tap, but it's denied away. Great save again by Sleasley, and another pass out of the midfield, perfectly passed, perfectly placed, and perfectly in the back of the net.
That was an incredible save by Sleasley. It goes out to Ventus though, and Yerkes able to find that pass, and what a team play coming out from Yerkes and Ventus, who have led this high-scoring game 1.
Yeah, they've really been able to find each other here. This Grandmaster's offense is very, very threatening here as they put up 5 goals in this first game. And looking for more here as this ball's out in the midfield. Juicy going to try to take control. Not a lot of time left. Going to have to try to find one with at least a second remaining on the clock. This one, nice pass comes down. Yerkes going to send this one high off the backboard. Kraken's trying to escape Ventus, keeping this ball around. 50 coming up in the midfield. Juicy trying to send it down, but not going to quite have enough time as this one is going to touch the ground here. The Grandmaster is going to come through with a game 1 victory, but Chunk, the Krakens weren't too far behind in that one. Grandmaster just kind of ran away with it at the end.
Yeah, I agree with that in full here, as it was a 2-2 game halfway through, but Grandmaster is able to find 3 in the last half of the game, and Yerkes and Logan dominant here in this game 1. Yerkes 4 goals, 3 saves, 800 points. On the other hand, we have Krakens who just trying to figure things out. They started off hot coming into the first half of game 1, but they kind of slowed down their opportunity, and Grandmasters just were able to run away with it.
Yeah, no, they were just able to find it there, and maybe that chemistry, kind of boiling over there as the first game went on, and the Grandmasters, with their experience here, just able to do a little bit more than the Krakens here. And as we head into game number 2, Chunk, I'm curious what you want to see from the Krakens to try to bring this game back, try to tie this series up.
So Aventus and Logan, I believe, are top 5 in demos in Titan League, both of them. So you've got to find a way to stop getting demoed here on defense, as Logan will put in a real quick goal here to set up the scoring in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insane passing right there, Chuck. That's a 1, 2, 3. And you know what? Not even the demos could have, could have prevented that one right there, as they, the chemistry is just on point. As this one is going to be sent back in to the Grandmaster's end. Kraken's trying to look to find an answer here. This one, another pass out in the midfield. Going to be sent away to the corner. Juicy pushing that one up. A double commit, though, comes through. Can they capitalize on it? It's just Ventus back. Trying to get to this one. He's going to dive early. Able to get there just in time. Able to avoid the demo and to get the touch there. This one's sent down in midfield. Can't quite find that one, though, is Sleasley. It's now control taken by Ventus. Looking to find a 50. Going to get it through one. Going to try to find a second here. He's actually going to get it by 2. Juicy Leaf going to be bumped off that one. It's dropping right down. Another double commit comes through from the Grandmasters, as the Krakens could have another opportunity to counter. This one dropped down. Ventus going to flick that one up. Double commit on the Kraken's end. He's able to send it away to the corner. Sleasley looking to stay with this one, but a nice flick over the top. Yerks is going to send it in, and it's 2-0 Grandmasters.
Yeah, just a simple flick there from Yerks. Got control. Juicy, no boost. Ado also no boost. Just not a lot of facilities left on Kraken's side. Not a lot of resources, and Grandmasters running away with this game, really.
Yeah, they're really putting it on, just picking up where they left off at the end of the last game. Juicy is trying to get one back there. Not quite able to do so. This one's sent back in. Sleasley looking to take control, gonna put it over the top of one, trying to pinch it with Juicy. This one's sent towards the net, gonna have to make a touch. Yerks does so with this one right out to Ado. Ado trying to flick it off the backboard. It's a shot opportunity, Sleasley, but Ventus with a nice denial. Juicy Leaf trying to drop it back, and he will. Some good pressure on the return there from the Krakens.
Yeah, opened it up with a demo. Good 50. Logan left with no boost. Kind of a common thing we've seen here when goals are being scored. Often someone left without boost, just left in a bad position, and both teams have been really able to capitalize here.
Yeah, it's some great offense for sure right there. The Krakens put a back there, but this one dangerous across the net. Ado gonna push that one back. Logan trying to find it, able to send it to the corner. Sleasley looking to get out to it, but not a lot of boost. This one's just off the mark right there. As Juicy is gonna look to take it down. Gonna find a dunk, but Yerk's able to send it right back in. Yerk's trying to find another. Gonna find a 50 instead there. As Logan pushed that one to the corner. Can't quite find that touch, but it's sent out. Sleasley can look to take control. What can he do with it? He's trying to put it right towards the net, looking for the dunk, but denied away. Another shot, though, comes through Juicy from the corner, and he is going to tie this game 2 right up.
Yeah, we've got almost an identical scenario to game 1, where it's half the game, 2-2 on both sides. So I'm curious to see what Krakens will do. They kind of switched up from game 1. They have a lot of momentum here in this game, so I'm curious to see if they can continue to find ways to score goals here.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They need that offense if they're going to want a chance. And this one, oh my goodness, this is going to come through. And what kind of goal was that?
Just a little mistouch, as Yerk's able to find a touch off Logan's pass, and everyone awkward on that net, kind of panicking, but Ventus able to pick up, just kind of sweep, get his broom out and sweep the ball in the net to put them up here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy, Chunk. That's one of those goals that if that happened to me, I'm just raging, I'm tilting a little bit there, as that one just hits a falling player there in Yerks, and then they're able to get the goal off of it. And well, if you're the Krakens, you're going to have to try to have a strong mental here, as once again, they find themselves down here in this game number 2. Trying to battle back. Juicy Leaf going to take control. Going to take this one up. Ventus is already pre-jumping him. Just trying to find that 50. He does. This one shot towards the back of the net there. Sleasley going to make a great touch. Needed that one and found it. As Sleasley again looking to take it down. Ventus pushing it back in the corner, but Sleasley with a nice dunk there. Ventus turning back around. This one off the wall. Ventus can't quite touch. Ado towards the net. It's dropping right down to Juicy Leaf. A great denial there from Logan. That's a nice pop comes through from Yerks. Now the Grandmasters looking for something here. Logan gonna find that touch off the corner. Logan again looking for a pass, but He is just going to send it out a little bit wide here as Yurk's taken up to the air, but Sleazy right on top of him in his space. As Ventus now, we're going to send it down right to Yurk's. Juicy, got to make that touch. Able to send it away as we're down to just about a minute remaining here, Chunk. And the Krakens, they desperately need a goal here. You don't want to try to put yourself in a reverse sweep scenario.
Yeah, going down to almost a death sentence. I know reverse sweeps happen a lot, but with the missing chemistry you have is a great pass from Logan to kind of extend the lead here. Krakens are gonna need to find 2 here now, Rockerman, but just a great pass.
Yeah, no, it was a great pass, and the demo opened up space. It kind of forced a double commit, and the demo erasing the last man back. Easy goal there for the Grandmasters. So looking for another one there off the kickoff. Got some pretty solid kickoffs so far. Keeping a lot of pressure their way. As Yurk's sending this one back up in midfield, and that one, oh my goodness, another passing play comes through, and the Grandmasters are fighting each other all over the pitch.
Yeah, pre-jump by Logan. Just a great drop down too off that pre-jump to Waiting Yurks, who is all over the scoreboard. Almost got 1,000 points in this game. He's got 967. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 saves, Rockerman.
Yeah, I mean, Yurks is just putting on a masterclass, and there's a big reason why he's a champion in the Nemesis Gaming League before. As this one is going to be shot towards the net, and it's going to go off the post, and it's going to find its way in, and the Krakens are going to get one back.
Yeah, Juicy has stepped up in this game. He has kind of been silenced by these great passing plays Grandmasters has had, but his individual performance this game is nothing to scoff at here. He's got a hat trick, and they're going to need that kind of performance if they want to win this game or have a chance later on in the series.
Yeah, they're going to need to, and I stand slightly corrected there on Yurks' status. He is a runner-up. I mean, he seems like he's had the caliber to win, but he was a runner-up there. Not quite a champion, but if they keep playing the way they're playing this season, season 13 could be the one here, as this ball is going to be sent back and sent down into the bottom of the field there, and the Grandmaster is going to come through with a game 2 victory there. And Yurks, he does eclipse 1,000 points there. A massive performance in that last game, Chunk.
Yeah, he's performed really well this series. If you are Krakens, you've got to find a way to slow him down. He's doing everything though, so you can't just stop him shooting. He'll start passing. He'll start playing incredible defense. You've got to find a way around him. But on the other side, you've got Juicy Leaf, who's doing almost as good as him, but you've got to find a way to get Ado involved, just kind of quiet that game. And that could be that lack of chemistry we kind of were expecting coming into this game, Rockerman.
Yeah, that is the problem when you do get that free agent sub. You know, you don't really have that chemistry that you would like here. But as we head into game number 3 here, Chunk, I mean, I know you mentioned getting Ado involved. You know, how would you do that here if you're the Krakens, or you know, how are you going to try to bring this one back and start the reverse sweep attempt?
We saw him score in game 1. We saw him like getting involved offensively. He didn't have like any offensive or defensive that last game as Ventus was strike early. We've seen them strike within the first 30 seconds of game 2 and 3. It's not a good sign if you are Kraken's lover, but Juicy Leaf just kind of caught awkward there, and a great pass is you do need to find an answer here if you're Krakens, and need to find one fast.
Yeah, that one, a tough way to start the game on the reverse sweep attempt. A big miss there from Juicy. He's been so solid this series, but not quite in that moment. Is Sleazy going to take this one to the backboard? Looking to try to find a touch. Sleazy going to send that one down. Oh my goodness, what a read.
That's an incredible angle. Great pop here. Logan trying to pre-jump him. Gets it around him, and Yurks as well, or Ventus rather, almost able to save that, but just perfect placement by Sleazy and a great individual play by him.
Yeah, that was just insane right there from Sleazy. And what an angle around the defender as well. As this one is going to be pinched out. Ventus can't quite connect on that one, but I mean, just the goal the Krakens needed if they want a chance here is Ventus. He's trying to drop this one down, throwing it off the backboard, but Juicy is going to get to that one. We're going to pass out in the midfield right around Yerks, but Ado can't quite connect on that one as it's sent back into the corner off the wall. Now Ventus going to throw that one in as Ado. And let's send it again to the corner. Ventus off the backboard. This one out in the midfield. Yerks is kind of waiting. He's going to have to retreat on this one. Going to pop it over one, but it's right to Juicy Leaf, who's just going to take a shot towards the net. It's off the post there. Not quite going to go in. As that one, another big opportunity. And you know, Chunk, when you're battling for one of these reverse sweeps, this is a nice passing play. Hold that thought as Yerks is going to send it in.
A really good passing play, and unfortunate 50 leads right to Ventus, who can pop it up for Yerks, and Ado stuck a little boost in the middle of the net, and these passing plays have been lethal, especially when you don't know who's going to hit the ball where. Ventus popped it off the post there, almost unpredictable.
Yeah, that was a tough one for sure right there. And like I was going to say earlier, when you're battling a reverse sweep attempts, oh my goodness, Juicy Leaf almost just put that one on his head right there. But when you're battling for a reverse sweep, every touch, every opportunity, it feels like you have to be perfect to battle your way through and win this one, as the Kraken's going to need some of that perfection here if they're going to want a chance. This one sent in the corner. Ado looking to find that 50. Does so, Sleasley gonna connect on it as he's trying to take it up, but Yerks right on top of that one. Is that one a demo gonna come through from Logan? I'm just gonna pop it up now. Logan looking for that touch, can't quite find it. Juicy gonna try to avoid a demo, looking to try to find something there, but Yerks is just able to get a touch here. It's another light touch around the defender. Sleasley forced to go all the way back. Ventus is trying to get to him there. Sleasley sending it out, but Logan, just him back there, gonna try to dive through, gonna find that 50. This one still is gonna pop up. Ado, not a lot of boost. Shot coming right towards the net, and Yerks perfectly placed. What a shot again. The Grandmasters up 3-1.
The offenses on both teams are flying here, Rockerman. Ventus nearly had a redirect, but Yerks, perfect placement, perfect speed, really good opportunity there for them. And Grandmasters are running away with this. The bumps have been coming out as well, Rockerman, just kind of putting in a little extra challenge to find a comeback here.
Oh, and the challenge is going to get a little bit more dangerous here, as that one is a tough one right there, right over the top of Juicy, and Ado was hoping he could get the boost in the corner, but not quite meant to be there, as that one shot towards the net, and is now a 4-1 margin here. The Grandmasters looking to pull off the sweep. Another bump comes through on the kickoff. Ventus is up, trying to go underneath his Juicy. Not quite able to do so. As this one popped up again, Ado trying to get out to it, and the Krakens really need to try to find some massive offense right here. They're going to want a chance in this game. They need to score 3 goals in the last minute 50. This one blocked down the midfield. Ventus going to push it out. Yerks looking to try to pass it over the midfield. Sleasley banging this one back in the Grandmaster's end. This one pops up. Gonna be blocked by Logan out in the midfield. Ventus is going to find a pop. Yerks, a lot of boost to work with. What's he got in the tank? You're going to get it over the top of one, trying to get it over a second, but not quite meant to be. This one dropping it down. Logan trying to come through, but denied away. Is this one going to be controlled a little bit? Not a lot of boost to work with. Trying to get it to Juicy, but a minute 15 here, Chunk, and it is going to be looking like a very tough task as that one rings off the post.
Yeah, they've still been on their back foot. They haven't even had an opportunity to get a shot on net, as they've just been on their back foot, withstanding all these punches that Grandmasters are throwing. And they don't know where they're coming from with the great passing and chemistry that they've shown. They need to find this opportunity they have now, Rockerman.
Yeah, they needed one there, but now the time is ticking. A shot gonna come through. Logan fires that one in the back, and then in the passing plays continue to find their way in the back of the net.
Yeah, I'm wondering if a single goal here from the Grandmasters has been unassisted. Every single goal of this game has been coming from a great pass. Just really good teamwork all around, everybody getting involved. They're looking like a well-oiled machine here, Rockerman.
Yeah, they really are, and the thing is that they're looking for each other. It's not just happening to find these passes. because of rotations, they are looking for each other on these passing plays and trying to make them happen. And that's what can make them that much more dangerous when you got a team that knows exactly where everybody is at all times, can find those passing plays. Grandmasters looking really good here in this one, and they are gonna come through and pull out a nice little sweep here on stream. Gonna improve to 8-3 on the season. Just a massive performance. And you know, Chunk, there's a big reason why these players and this team and the Grandmasters are near the top of the Titan League, as this one trying to find one more for the road for the Krakens. But I mean, the Grandmasters just look like definitely a team that we're going to be watching out for come playoff time.
Yeah, right. Right now, looking in this game, they look like I'd say I haven't seen a lot of Titan, but that looks like a dangerous team to go against in the playoffs if they are clicking like they did tonight, as you do not want to find yourself against a team that is so well connected.
Yeah, and that's a big thing in the Titan League. You know, everyone has these mechanics, everyone has, you know, these rotational skills, but it's about how you can combine them with your teammates and find the passing plays to go along with them. And the Grandmasters there, we really saw them just put those passing plays to work. And I mean, yeah, Chunk, that's gonna be a dangerous team come playoff time, without a doubt.
Yeah, so with that win, Rocker Man, they are looking for a Dragon's loss for that #1 seed, but they are in a three-way tie for second. I don't know the tiebreakers, but they are improving to 8-3. They need a Venganza and Phoenix to drop a game here, and they'll be solidified second. But it is a close race at the top for Titan so far.
Yeah, no, they are right in things there, looking to keep things going, battling with Venganza for that division lead. Right now, they do hold the tiebreaker in that mountain division there, so that's why they are the 2 seed at the moment. And you know, like you mentioned, looking for a possible 1 seed here this week, as now they are tied in the win column with the Dragons with 8 wins on the season. So once again, big congratulations to them on the big win there. And yeah, with that being said, we are going to head to a little bit of a break here. A couple of quick shout outs before we go that way. Big shout out to Mealy coming back for 16 months, and shout out to Logan with a big performance there, coming back for 22 months. We appreciate you guys with the support on the stream as always. But yeah, with that being said, we are going to head to a break. When we come back, we're going to be heading to the Rival League for another spicy matchup. I'm excited to see this matchup for sure. We have a Rival taking on the Knights here. Foam back on the pitch, taking on my Rival team, who have been pretty good this season. So I'm very excited to see how they perform. That one is going to be coming up after this short break. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will see you guys in a little bit.
You're too codependent. You hate all of my friends. Don't know how to fix it, but losing you's like taking my last breath. We're so disconnected. Like every time we message, I really thought you meant it. You took it all and now there's nothing left. Took it all and now
think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. Had it with the things you do. I think I've had enough of you. Thumbs through bell loops, I hardly felt you. We were kissing, something was missing. No room for tears shed inside our twin bed. Darling, you're a mess, goes good with your dress. Vision in my hurricane after her, but a dance in the rain's what I prefer. Caught in the eye of her eyes. Vision in my hurricane after her, but a dance in the rain's what I prefer. Caught in the eye. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. Had it with the things you do. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. But maybe, just maybe, one more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance. One more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. Had it with the things you do. I think I've had enough of you. Broken in places, one for the ages. Taken hotel room, vacant without you. And sleep in the basement, none of this makes sense. All things considered, I couldn't quit her. Vision in my hurricane after her, but a dance in the rain's what I prefer. Caught in the eye of her eyes. Vision in my hurricane after her, but a dance in the rain's what I prefer. Caught in the eye. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. Had it with the things you do. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. But maybe, just maybe, one more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance. One more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance. But maybe, just maybe, one more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance. One more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. Had it with the things you do. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. Had it with the things you do. I think I've had enough of you. I don't have time for you. I don't wanna see this through. But maybe, just maybe, one more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance. One more dance, little bit of romance. Go ahead and take my hand. 100-second chance.
Bodies in the alley, keep one hand on my money. I try to lose them in the dark. Colors bleed together, I can't run any faster. It will end before it starts. I'm up against a wall. How can it be growing taller? I'm high on adrenaline. I see the world burning in a vision. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Hands up as you fall,
early. He puts it in. 0 seconds remaining. The team's gonna be fighting hard for it. Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna He's gonna put it in. Back to back.
Backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on.
Davis high off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? No, hold on. Surely this can't. Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Palpatine on the goal line. He did not win.
Nearly over.
Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Welcome back to Nemesis Gaming League, everybody. First off, I want to say my name is Colson, and this is my co-host, Ventus. Ventus, congratulations. The Grandmasters won the last series, and now you're here to cast with us. How you feeling after that victory?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. We linked up really well, and overall it's just a really clean series. I think we were pretty confident going in, but I mean that's in the past. We don't care about what just happened. We're happy about what is about to happen, and that is our rival taking on the Knights. Both teams pretty good in that playoff contention. Knights are just a little bit out, but they are still in it. They're almost in their division as well. They are like 2 games back, I believe. The Hydra are 6-4 and they're 4-6, which is crazy to think that they are last in their division and Hydra is first. But a win here can really kick them back into the playoff race, and so it's going to be a must-win for them and a rival obviously wanting to continue their hot streak, but they have Gravelords in their divisions. They're 10-0, maybe a little bit harder of a comeback to face with that team being so good. But a win here is a step in the right direction for either team.
I think that you said it perfectly. A rival, obviously the Gravelords being 10-0 is a tough team to match up against, right? But they're still in good playoff position. It's not like they're out all of a sudden just because the Gravelords are 10-0. They're still in a great position. They just need to keep pushing. Now we have the Knights, who are, like you said, are in the bottom, but only by 2 games. If they get 1, they're back into that play-in position, not playoff, play-in position. And that's the Western Pacific Conference. Like you said, 6-4 is the top, 4-6 is the bottom. So even though it looks like their record is below 500, and it is, they're not out of the hunt just yet. I think the standout players for me are going to be Kisby, who showed up today. He's 17-24. I think he's the #1 rated player in points in Rivals right now. And then Fnatic on the other team. And they are both having phenomenal series so far. Ventus, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you said that perfectly. Obviously, Kisby, kind of that #1 player on the team after Chad, unfortunately got moved to Titan. And then Fnatic, unfortunately, have to root for him as he's the top player, but he goes to Chapel Hill, so I might be a little biased. But we'll keep our feelings out of this as we are both from NC State. But we're getting game 1 right away. If I had to give a prediction, I really think Knights are going to kind of pull an upset here. I think they look really good. And I think they have done really well after they settled in after picking up Fnatic and replacing him with Marco. So I think the Knights are going to take it, but I could see a game 5.
I could see a game 5 as well. We have the Knights on the red squad, and we have a rival on the blue squad. I'm going to be not rooting because obviously I can't do that, but I've put some channel points on Arrival. I believe in Rockerman and what he has going over on Arrival. They're 7-3 for a reason. I think this team can keep it up. But we are in the midfield. Right now we're doing a lot of ping pong possession as this one gets 50'd out. Milky doing great. Kisby trying to send it early, but Fnatic able to get it by everyone. Destin putting a shot on and in. Fnatic to Destin, and the Knights take an early lead.
Yeah, and that's just a great 50 there from Fnatic to beat out that last man in Crates. Destin able to follow that one up very quickly as well. Crates almost gets back to it there, but unfortunately just a little bit too fast. The follow-up was a little bit too quick for that Arrival defense to recover from that great play from Fnatic. And Knights take an early lead in game number 1.
Milky flips by the boost, but Crates is able to pick it up, and the Knights have early kickoff pressure yet again. Crates putting this one in the air, going for a flip reset, over 1. Kisby on the wall, gets the bump. Milky, you have a wide open net, but he elects not to take it. Takes it now, but too little too late. Destin with a beautiful save as last back. Fnatic trying to get to this one and does in the midfield. No boost, trying to pop this out one, looking for a teammate. Destin is there, but it is popped away and behind him. Crates looking for a demo on Foam, but Foam does well to avoid it. But he can't avoid all of the rival players forever as Milky picks one up. Great 50 from Kisby out into the back of the net. Are you kidding me, Kisby? Popping off.
Yeah, he gets a little help from Fnatic there, playing the dunk, gets it perfectly, shot on target, completely catches Destin off guard. And that one's gonna find the bottom left corner of the net, and Kisby, with his own hands, bringing Arrival back into this game 1-1.
That's what you get from the player with the most points per game in Rivals. Kisby making something out of nothing with consistency. Flip reset over one, looking for a teammate. Milky with a shot, but a great save from Destin. Follow-up and a bump in net. And just like that, Arrival have arrived in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is just beautiful offensive pressure from Arrival. You get the flip reset over one from Kisby, you get the follow-up from Milky, and then he is able to get the bump as well in that last man back. Krates comes in, clean-up crew, it doesn't matter. He puts that one, slots it in the back of the net on his own, and that is a great 1-2-3 from Arrival. And, I mean, they have started to kick it up a notch, to say the least. They have been out shooting the Knights 6-1 since Knights' goal. Well, 6-0 since the Knights' one goal. So, I mean, great playing from Arrival to kind of come back from that early deficit.
Pops this one up to the corner. Fnatic looking to take it, but a little miscommunication from him. Fnatic both go, but it works out for them. Kisby, maybe an own goal, but Milky icy as ever. A little fake out from Destin. Kisby is by everyone, only Fnatic to beat. Taking his time, but can't get it around. A little bit too much time taken, and Foam able to support his team and get back to it. Destin with a strong clear out. Kisby is waiting for it. Destin does it, the bump on him, and Foam takes it up into the air. Milky looking to take this one for his team. Gets a bump out. Kisby pops it over to him, but not enough for it. Destin pops this one up onto the sidewall. Milky has it read down, maybe to a teammate, but no one elects to go. Strong clear comes out, and this could be a goal, and is.
I mean, it seems like they caught the defense out of rotation. Milky, not a great touch, kind of gives the ball away. Krates not really expecting that play, as he is maybe looking for it to be a bit more direct towards him, maybe a bit out wider so he can follow that one. And as third man, pushing up that far and not being able to make a play on the ball is going to allow Arrival to concede a second goal and allow Knights to get back into it, as this might be another shot attempt as Foam tries to put that one on target, but that one hits the crossbar. The follow-up not there, and third man having to rush back. This one is going to be close. The follow-up might be a counterattack, but that ball is just saved once again by Destin. Does a good job, especially as last man back, to recover from that mistake from the Knights offense. But overall, I mean, both these teams starting to even out. I think Arrival had the majority of the pressure for the middle chunk of this game, but it seems like Knights have just been able to take it back. Their defense, as I was going to compliment, just gave up a goal to another great play by Kisby. I mean, this guy can just do it all. A great beat there, gets the read off the backboard, gets the double touch, and I mean, absolutely phenomenal solo play from Kisby.
Right under his average score. He is doing it yet again, working for that title as #1 player in the league. Milky with a pre-jump off. Kisby up early. This could go into the net, but Foam has it red. Krates tries to get this one down into a teammate, but another miscommunication comes out from Knights. Krates looking for a bump and gets it, but it was a little bit too late. Destin looking for Foam in the midfield. Krates able to cut this one out, but I think Kisby was back and had that one red. Milky now looking for a teammate a little bit closer. Not the same mistake they had before. Arrival starting to link up a little bit on that offense. Right now, we're seeing a lot of pressure come out, but nothing too threatening. The ball staying in the Knights' corner, but that's exactly where Arrival wants it. They don't need to do too much. They're already winning. They just need to keep this pressure on and need to keep the Knights out of their own net. Pinch comes out towards the back wall as Fnatic goes up for it, trying to make a play happen, but Kisby has this one red. Milky dives early, looking to get it to Kisby. Krates with a quick shot, but Foam has it red as well. This pressure right now that Arrival has on the Knights, seemingly unbreakable, Ventus.
Yeah, and they have just been accumulating the shots ever since I started complimenting the Knights for coming back into the game and tying it up and kind of evening the shot total. It has just gotten way worse from there. Arrival has kicked up the volume, continuously berating the net of the Knights, and even though the Knights are able to put up amass some kind of attacks here and there, they've only managed to get 4 shots to the Arrival. I believe that is 12, so this might be a 13th coming out from Arrival. But as the clock winds down on this game, #1, it seems like Kisby and Arrival have got this one under wraps as that ball does hit the ground. And I mean, Arrival, they had a couple slow parts there throughout that game, but overall once they were on the offensive side of the ball, they just continuously mounted more and more pressure, and it seemed like Knights couldn't handle it.
8 saves coming out from the Knights, but like you said, that pressure just kept coming. It was unbeatable from our rival. They logged 11 shots, and so the Knights had all the saves that they needed. They had 8. The only 3 that made it through were the ones that went in. Shooting accuracy, not a problem at all for a rival. 4 shots exclusively coming out from Knight. They had a higher shooting percentage, but when you don't have the pressure to keep that going or the shot accuracy to make it happen, unfortunately, it doesn't go in your favor. I think the Knights have a lot to be proud of after that game number 1. They looked good. It's just that they need to get back on offense. They had their quick counterattacks. They looked competent when they were on offense. Their issue right now, I think, is getting onto offense. How do you think they do that, Ventus?
I think it all comes down to the midfield. I feel like Kisvy and Milky have kind of just decimated the midfield. They've been super quick to the ball. They've been able to just beat out every single defender in the Knights and every single challenge from the Knights players. And so they either need to be quicker in the midfield, allow a little bit more space in the midfield, maybe look for a couple more demos, but they just need to be more aggressive in the midfield specifically just to make sure that Kisvy and Milky doesn't have unlimited time on the ball, because that's when the danger really happens, especially when Kisvy's on the ball. You do not want to let him go for any more solo plays, considering what he did in this game number 1.
Beautiful plays from Kisvy. The Knights could have had an opportunity, but it does go wide from Foam. Kisvy trying to do this one himself, passes over to Krates. Krates looking for Milky, but Milky was in his own half. He pops this one up to himself, tries to beat out Foam, but Foam does him to the ball, looking for a double, and in! Beautiful shot from Foam, getting his team back into this series.
Yeah, that's a great dunk from Foam. Uses the last bit of his boost to get across the goal post, putting that one back on target. Gets a little bit of help posting in, and Krace just not able to read that one. A great play from Foam, able to put the Knights ahead once again early in this game. But we've seen it time and time again. This is when a rival starts to ramp up. This is when things get dangerous for the Knights, even though they just scored. It seems like once a rival kind of gets put on the back foot, they just unlock a new gear, and so I'm worried that Knights just need to keep this pressure, continue to mount, continue to suffocate the rival squad, just so the rival squad does not have the ability to even get on offense.
Get on offense is the dangerous part. Foam pops this one back out mid. Bump comes out from Kisvy, but nothing comes from it. I've noticed so far that there have been a little bit of double commits and miscommunications on the side of Knights. That seems to have mostly been cleaned up in this game number 2, but a little bit of, apprehension, uncertainty from this team is starting to come out. You can see it. They're not really sure who's going to take the lead. Foam with a great pop-off, but we'll have to see how the rest of this one goes as Kisvy pops this one into the Knights corner. Fnatic, the man with the plan, takes it full boost, but he gets dunked out by Milky. Milky 50's outdestined, and it goes soaring back into a rival's half. Fnatic sends it no boost. Kisvy a little awkward, uses a bunch of boost to get back to it, and will probably drop it to a teammate in the midfield, and does. Kratos pops this one over. Destin up early, but Milky should have this cleared down over to Kisvy. Kisvy pops this one up, trying to do it himself. Foam up early, faked out by Kisvy. Kisvy looking for a play, but not able to get back to it. Double commit on the side of a rival. This could be big, but Kisvy bails them out and keep this one on the Knights side, and because of that, it leads to a goal. Milky says thank you very much, and a rival ties up game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was going to be disastrous for a rival with that big double commit in the midfield, but a great cut by Kisvy. Not only to beat out Destin, who didn't really see Kisvy in his rear view camera, but it beat out Foam as well to pass it into the midfield, allowing Milky to get a free goal as there's no defender back. And this might be another opportunity as Krates pops this one off the backboard. A bump comes out on the last man back, but Krates doesn't have the resources to get that one on target. And once again, a rival just starting to mount this pressure. We see it time and time again. Another shot coming through, and that one, even though there's 3 defenders in net, can't be stopped by Kisvy. And that ball gonna extend a rival lead 2-1.
Hesitation yet again. No one from the Knights sends it out to meet Kisvy at the ball right in front of their own net. That's where you should be able to have someone closest to the ball without worry of overextending. But a little bit of miscommunication comes out and a rival goes back up. Ball starts out in the arrival corner this time. Fnatic just trying to keep it close. Double commit coming out from the Knights, but Foam was able to recover well enough to get back to it. Krait's trying to take this one up to the ceiling and do something himself, but he does get 50'd out and away. Destin with an open net. This could be in and is. Slow roller, a worm burner from Destin, and that one ties up the game for the Knights.
Yeah, it looked like Foam got a bump on Kizzy there. Kizzy maybe playing a little bit aggressive as well, expecting the clear to come out from the wall. Destin does well to keep it low, keep it close, and he's rewarded perfectly with a free open net. The rival man laughs back, not there for that team. And I mean, it's just, once again, it seems like Knights have just been able to capitalize on a couple mistakes from Arrival, but it's not a lot of offensive pressure that's suffocating Arrival. It's Arrival making a lot of mistakes, and it forces them into spots where they get scored on with open nets. And you know, that's not a recipe for success long term, but I think that the Knights are happy to take whatever they can get, anything to kind of mount a little bit more pressure and just allow them to quell their nerves, make sure they're a little bit more confident, kind of clean up those rotations as well. As it seems like with how fast Arrival is playing, the Knights are just not as confident in playing that aggressive.
And how could you be when Milky's going for double resets on the goal line? Krait's popping this one up for Kisby, but a great save comes out from Fnatic. Foam, man of the match, trying to make something happen for the Knights. Whiff comes out, and Foam with a pass to Fnatic. A whiff on the back line, and the Knights are up 3-2.
I love how Fnatic plays it. He's so aggressive, even with zero boost. He's like, this is a very awkward ball for Milky. I think I can make a play on it. He believes that Foam gets the beat on that the last man back for Arrival, and the recipe just worked out perfectly for them. Fnatic gets the goal, Foam gets the assist, they go up in the game, and once again, it starts to get them connected more. It starts to make sure there's less double commits. They kind of have how they need to play together in mind. But this great bump coming up from Fnatic, a great save by Foam, but another triple commit comes out from the Knights. I thought it was only going to be a double commit, but I mean, when Arrival keeps putting on great shots like that, it's going to be very tough. But once they make mistakes like that, it might not be as tough for the Knights to capitalize.
It was tough seeing UNC Chapel Hill player Fnatic get a game-leading goal for his team as an NC State broadcast stream, both commentators from NC State University, but that's okay. Beautiful goal from him as Destin looks to keep the Knights in the lead. Foam pops this one over Krait's. This could be an opportunity to seal the game. Double commit comes out. This could be Arrival's opportunity to get back into this. Kisby trying to do it himself. Flip reset onto the back wall. Great touch, but the ball stays up. Milky up early, trying to make it happen himself. Gets the flip reset 50. Let's see, Kisby keeps it up into the air, but it's knocked down to the ground from Foam. And just like that, the series is tied up 1-1.
Yeah, and that was a really close match coming out from both Knights and Arrival. I mean, you see the shot total 8-6. The demos, we saw a lot more coming out from Knights, a lot more midfield presence, especially. They kind of shut Kisby out for a lot of this game. And we see Arrival having to kind of play hero ball a lot more. Milky and Kisby going for a lot more crazier solo plays versus kind of just playing the beats like they had been. They haven't been able to beat the players from Knights. Their defense has been better. It hasn't been great, but they have cut down a little bit on those double commits so that we see a little bit more cohesion in the Knights. And overall, just a good game for both teams. I think Arrival kind of sees that the things that they did in game one aren't going to work as well. They need to change up a little bit, but they still had a lot of promise. So I think that both teams going into this game number 3 are going to be very aggressive and trying to get this one to game point.
For me, I think Fnatic has been relatively quiet. Consistent, but quiet. Foam was the one that stepped up in that game. He made a lot of the touches that led to the Knights' success, and that surprised me. I thought Fnatic was going to be the guy that needed to step up, but Foam looking ever capable, making things happen, and here he is again, looking for a pass over to Destin. Destin trying to get a double touch with it, pops back down. This could be awkward. Krait's able to pop this one over and away. Kisby puts this one into the Knights' half. A little bit of awkward, a little Akko Taco on the back line, and that could have led to a goal if it wasn't for a beautiful save coming out from Destin, keeping this one locked at 0-0. Strong clear out from Fnatic, looking to make a play happen. Pops this one over to net and in. Fnatic heard my call and answered it immediately, putting his team up 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, you saw there's a little bit of an awkward exchange between Foam and Destin on the defensive line. Neither of them went, kind of both called for it, both left it for the other player. And I mean, Destin had to make an absolutely phenomenal save just to make sure that ball didn't go in the back of the net. The follow-up came through on the counterattack from Fnatic, and a great play coming out from Knights, kind of electing to play that counterattack style instead of just beating the opponent down with a stick on offense, and it seems to be working. I think that's a play style that Foam especially is very comfortable with. He's a great third man, especially in the rival league. We saw him plenty of times in Titan League kind of playing this way, hunkering down the defensive side of the ball for his team, allowing these outlet passes to come through, allowing his teammates to cherry pick, and we saw somewhat of a semblance of that as well coming from Fnatic, just being able to cherry pick that ball, redirect that one into the back of the net, and just a good play coming out from the Knights.
Fnatic trying to get an air dribble bump onto Kisby, but he does well to get around it. Gets around another player and maybe looking for a pass mid, but a great 50 out on Destin. Pops this one over to Milky, but Fnatic gets a good 50 on him. Trying to make a play happen, but not enough boost in the tank to make one come to fruition. Foam pops down, double commit out from the Knights, but nothing to be too scared of. Fnatic pops this one over to Foam. Let's see if anyone can need him. No, Foam dusts the first man. Kisby gets a great touch back out. Midfield pressure trying to come out from a rival, but Destin able to get by both defenders. Milky with a great touch into the safety of his own corner and pop up and away from Kisby. Great demo coming out from Foam. That's something I haven't seen much of from the rival in this series so far. I think the Knights have great pressure with their demos. Fnatic maybe turning for this, but he elects to play it safe. With a quick shot now, the Kratos is there and has a great clear away. Kisby waiting in the wing, gets a pop over to looking to Kratos. Foam, great midfield presence, able to get in the way of a pass. Milky pops this one over, but none of his teammates are there. Destin over to his teammate, trying to get this one to put through, but it does pop off the back wall. Great defensive stand coming out from a rival. Foam, ever present, ever pressuring, trying to get something to happen for his team, but Kratos able to cut this one away. Now he's by 2. Let's see if he can make something happen, but Foam running interference yet again. Bumps onto the last man in Fnatic, but the ball gets pinched out and by Kisby. Back and forth and back and forth. Low-scoring affair in game number 3. Let's see if Rival can get back into this one, Ventus.
Yeah, and Arrival has done really well overall, but it's been a couple key mistakes. These demos from the Knights specifically are just opening up so much space. Arrival uses a lot of resources, uses a lot of boost and speed, and so when they're taken out of the play, the rotations are completely out of whack. We see it once again. There's a bump on the back line, a open net comes through, and the shot is just on target. It seems like that's the double-edged sword for Arrival. They are playing super fast, super aggressive, and super mechanical, but when it comes at the price of using so much resources, they're not able to correct themselves when these bump plays happen or when they are beat. We see plays like that where Kratos has to make an absolutely amazing save on the back line as last back. But overall, it seems like Knights have started to take the forefront. They've started to get their speed. They started to connect more, especially it seems like Arrival has been a lot of the 3-player hero ball versus a lot of passes are coming out from the Knights, and we saw this a lot with my team in Titan League, and the ceiling for these passing plays and the connection between players is just so high. The ball moves faster than cars can, and so if you can pass the ball to the open space where your team follows it up, it is so much better than trying to force your way through 3 players with a solo play.
Foam doing it all. He got the bump you mentioned earlier that led to the second goal. He is everywhere on this pitch, and I see him cutting a lot for his team. And so far, I don't see an answer from Arrival. Great 50 out from Milky back to the midfield, but Foam yet again is the one there, ready to pop it back into Arrival's half. Milky with a great touch off the back wall, but no one to follow. In game number 1, I criticized Knights for not having anyone to follow right in front of their own net, and now Arrival is doing the same thing. They're struggling to get out from even their own goal line because pressure like this is suffocating. Right, trying to get a breakaway counterattack, but Fnatic does well, popping this one up and back to over to Foam. Destin back in net, maybe looking for a teammate. Soft touch, Kisby trying to make something happen, maybe going for the double. Waterfall down, but a great touch away to the sidewall. Back to the corner we go. Foam putting this one again into the corner, and Milky whiffs on this ball. I'd like to see a little more aggression in the sense of bumps and demos from Arrival. They're playing a really clean game, and that is not working for them, but as we have seen in the last 2 games. I would like to see someone going upfield trying to get these bumps early, because that is what's led to the success of the Knights. Foam doing a lot of the dirty work, maybe not getting the points from it, but he is getting the top of the screen to read in favor of the Knights. Ball goes down, and Knights take game number 3.
Yeah, you said it right there. Foam, 4 demos to his name. Not a lot of other accolades, but you don't have to when you're opening up space like that. 6 demos for the entire Knight squad. And they seem to flip the script on the pressure. Arrival only accumulating 6 shots, Knights getting 10. And overall, it just seems like the Arrival players are a little lost. I think Milky has been trying to cut a little bit too much in the midfield. I think that Krates has just gotten boost starved by Milky and Kisby, both trying to play super aggressive and super fast. I think that overall, these 3 players kind of were in sync for game number 1. They had a lot of good follow-ups on the beats. Like, Kisby got a good flip reset past 1, Milky was there for the dunk, and then Krates was there for the follow-up and finish. But we're seeing now there isn't that follow-up. They're getting boost starved more. They're lacking the boost to generate that speed, and it's really shown. Knights have really put them on the back foot, and they look to continue that here as we get to match point.
Krates pops this one down. Milky gets it by 1, trying to wake up those mechanics. Flip reset onto the back wall. Kisby with a slow roll shot, switching it up on the defense, and just like that, Arrival is back in this series.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great solo play from Milky, getting the beat out on Foam. Kisby, good follow-up. Fnatic not able to get there in time. Foam a little bit too fast on the pre-jump. And a well-placed shot from Kisby. You don't necessarily have to scream it at the net all the time. A slow-placed shot might do just that. And a great dunk there from Krates in the midfield on that last back from the Knights allows Arrival to get 2 quick kickoff goals. And this seems very reminiscent of game number 1, where Arrival had a lot of pressure in the opening minute.
This is going to be a tough comeback for the Knights. Games have gone 3-2 in favor of Arrival, 3-2 in favor of the Knights, and 2-0 in favor of the Knights. The most goals that any one team has scored in this series is 3, and this has to go in favor for the Knights if they're going to get it back. Knights heard me talking and got their 1. 2 more to go if the track record means anything.
Yeah, and that's a great play from Fnatic. A great beat specifically for Foam. He gets the beat on Milky. Milky very aggressive as that last man back. And unfortunately, he does get beat out. Allows Knights to crawl back into this game, put their foot in the door, make sure they keep it open. And, I mean, crazy things happen in Forbidden Temple. And, I mean, it's already shown 3 almost kickoff goals coming out early in game number 4. And I'm sure we're not going to stop here.
Rockerman was popping off in the chat when his team scored, and now he is quiet as the Knights get back into this one. Kisby takes this one off the wall. Destin gets 50 to in the midfield by Milk. Krates pops this one up, looking for a teammate, but Destin is up early and quick. Kisby pops this one out mid, looking for Krates. He's able to get it by another defender. Fnatic in the corner, looking for boost, but he's able to pop this one away into the safety. He gets another big boost as he pops it up to himself, trying to do a solo play. Tries to get this one over to Foam, but he gets a great boost grab. Milky looking for Krates in the midfield. Krates with a quick shot, but Fnatic able to get back to this one. Kisby up, but whiffs on the ball, and this is a wide open net. The problem with playing mechanical is that if your mechanics aren't on point, Foam will take advantage of it. Knights tie up game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Arrival has so much faith in Kisby. Kisby is such a pillar in this team that when he makes a mistake like that, it's very detrimental. You see an open net occur because both teammates were focused on getting boost because they had so much faith in Kisby getting a good touch on that ball, and when he doesn't, then there is price to pay from that, and that is a goal for the Knights. Knights tying up this game already at the total of normal goals scored, as this looks to be the 5th goal that matches game number 2, I believe, or 1. Game number 1. And, I mean, we still have 3 minutes left of gameplay. Kisby a good dunk. A whiff coming out from Fnatic on the back line, and that is going to also be detrimental as it allows Arrival the lead once again with 3 minutes remaining.
The potential to be the highest scoring game in this series so far. Like you said, matching game number 1. Fnatic with a quick shot that is weak, and Milky's able to get back to it. Wave dash on the wall, no boost, trying to get a flick, but unfortunately not enough pop. He gets the demo, but Foam able to get back to this one and save it away. back into the Arrivals half. Braids takes it, but Foam able to bump him off the boost. Misflip off the ceiling. Quick shot out from Destin, but Kisby does well to pop it. Now the mechanics have the chance to shine. Kisby over one, trying to get a flip on it, but a great bump from Destin pops it away. Foam looking to respond in kind, popping it over one, but Milky pops this one to himself, keeps it close, looking for Kisby in the corner, but Fnatic does well with the mid boost control and trusts that Foam will pop it away, and he does. Fnatic looking to solo play and tie the game up, but a beautiful save coming out from Krates. Kisby trying to make something happen, but Foam with the pressure in the Arrival half is doing work for his team. Quick counterattack chance, but Krates elects to put this one into the corner. Milky off the corner. Destin trying to respond to it. Little awkward ball, keeping it close, buying time for his teammate. Milky does well, getting his team full boost. Destin with a quick counter, but not enough people baited out from it. Milky, great touch up to the ceiling, forcing Fnatic to do something with it and pop it over into the corner. Pressure is starting to go in favor for Arrival Ventus. Let's see if they're able to keep it up.
Yeah, the Knights have just kind of gotten boosted a lot. This mid boost coming out, getting stolen by Arrival has allowed them to generate a bunch of this pressure, but Foam looking for a double tap, it might not matter as Kisby's last man back, has to make a cut, does so very well, and gets the corner boost. And then he actually takes the mid boost, and that's exactly what Arrival has been doing. They've been making a priority to get this mid boost, conserve the boost in the midfield, and make sure they're able to put these extended stays on offense. And it's really forced out a lot of bad touches from Knights, but that might have been a bad touch theirs. That mid boost was stolen from Milky, and that ball sent onto the Arrival half, Arrival net. Not on target, but Krates helps them out, kind of expecting it to be post in or just in general, and he kind of just own goals for the sake of tying the series, and maybe he doesn't want to see game 5. We don't really know.
Catastrophic failure on the side of Arrival. Good news for them is they're now outscoring the Knights in this game 4-2, but at the top of the screen it reads 3-3. Foam trying to make it 4-3, pop down for his teammate. All three players from Arrival able to keep this ball out and away. Pinch down, Fnatic getting it by the defense. Destin with a quick shot, but chain dashes on the wall from Kisby keep this game tied. Great pop around the last back defender from Krates, but Destin is there now with a full tank of boost. Takes his time with it. Mistouch, maybe Milky able to capitalize on the situation, trying to look for a teammate, but Kisby is not able to get to it. Great speed coming up from Kisby. This could be the chance. Fnatic over to Milky. Milky is too far forward and will take this one back into the safety of his own corner. Trying to pinch off the ceiling, but it drops down. Destin with a quick shot, but it is a little bit wide. Maybe trying to pull out a rival defender. 10 seconds remaining, and all the pressure is in favor of the Knights. This could be it. Great 50 out in front of the net. Destin trying to go quick. Another Foam trying to get it in. This could be terrible for... Oh my goodness, I can't get over my own words. This is crazy, Ventus, and we're in overtime.
Yeah, and it's only fitting that it's Forbidden Temple. I mean, everything always happens. Crazy things happen in Forbidden Temple. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. And, I mean, we see a slugfest coming out. Knights absolutely laying on the pressure, especially late. Arrival holding on with some great saves. And it will come down to who wants this game more. I think whoever wins this game will win the series based off the momentum Arrival generates. And we might see that here as Krates tries to get the pop out. And Arrival trying to just keep this ball from going out of their net. But once again, Knights laying on the pressure.
I've had the chance to calm down, maybe not for too long. That last 10 seconds of regulation has led to some crazy potential open net chances, but strong shots are not enough when you have defense like this on the back line. You gotta be just a centimeter faster, an inch a little further along. 3 players from the Knights all in one part. Kisby should have shot that one hard, but unfortunately doesn't get the touch that he wants. Crazy stuff coming out. Milky putting this one on target, but Foam saves it away. This is a wild turn of events coming from a relatively slow game number 3. Now we're in a high-flying, high-octane, no pun intended, game number 4. 1 minute and 15 seconds into this overtime, Kisby takes a little bit of time, trying to get it over the midfield defender, fakes out Foam, trying to 50 Destin, but that doesn't work out. 2 players from the Knights go up again, and the things we've seen in game number 1 are starting to plague them. That was a crazy open net chance, but the nerves are starting to get to these players. This overtime means everything. It could mean the win for the Knights. It could mean game number 5 if the rival team wins. Kisby looking to make something happen. Destin pops this one off the back wall and tries to send it away. Great's able to get to this one. There's the demos I was looking for. Great pressure coming out from Arrival. Both teams go back and forth and back and forth. This game is anyone's, Ventus.
Yeah, I mean, both teams unrelenting pressure, I should say. Neither team wants to give it up. All these players are just hard committing on the ball, expecting just to be able to recover in time, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They'd rather full go for the offensive play and just hope they can get back on defense, and it's worked out for both teams so far, but this might be the daggers. Kizzy getting the air dribble, looking for the reset, does get it, but a great cut, a great save by Destin, keeps Knights in it once again. And I mean, a great play just to get back, but it's exactly as I said. These players are just full going on offense. If they can make it back on defense, great. If they can't, they give it their best shot, and that's what we're seeing right now. Kizzy, a great clear out once again, but it's not over for Arrival as Knights getting some more pressure, but the ball is cleared away, and with 3 minutes of overtime, I don't know when this would stop.
Kisby trying to make it end right here. Fakes out the back line, but Destin able to pop this one out and away. Milky pops this one, looking for Kisby. Kisby trying to beat the last man, gets a 50 on it, but no one there for the follow-up. That's one thing I've seen from both teams. No one is ready for the follow-up. They're sending it, yes, but they're sending it to the wrong positions. And until you're there for a follow-up or can get a bump for your for your offense, nothing is going to stop this 3-minute overtime. Great play potential from Foam over to Fnatic. Great touchdown, but look at this! Like, what are we talking about? How are we getting back to this ball? It seems so many times that the game is going to end on a seemingly open net, and then out of nowhere, a defender from either one of the teams able to get back to it. Fnatic with a quick shot, but Kisby is there. Milky and Kisby trying to make something happen. Its demo comes out, but Milky pops it away, looking for Crakes. Crakes with a quick shot, double commit on the side of the Knights. Kisby trying to do it himself off the back wall, but Destin makes a great read on the ball. 50 by 2 is Milky. Milky passing over to Kisby. Kisby looking for a bump, but he is just a little bit too slow, and Foam pops this one out. Milky turns onto it, but gets beat out by Destin in the midfield. As we go by 4 minutes of overtime, Fnatic gets the bump, and this could be the dagger. Foam to himself off the wall, and just like I predicted, one well-timed demo, and the Knights take the series 3-1.
Man, I mean, absolutely phenomenal play from both teams, especially in that last game. They had great offense, but even better defense at the very end of that game. 4-minute overtime. I mean, it was basically game 5 if we think about it, because you get a whole nother game of Rocket League there. But Knights come out on top, 17 shots to their name to 7 from Arrival. Great play all around. Foam, absolutely phenomenal. He had almost a 1,000-point game, and the Knights, I don't know if it's a stun. I did predict the Knights to win. But I mean, I don't necessarily think that anybody expected the way to go out for Arrival.
I don't think so either. Say goodbye to my channel points. I had predicted on Arrival, but they dropped to 7-4, and the Knights are now 5-6. Maybe getting into the playoffs sooner, just depending on how the other games turn out. That was a phenomenal series, Ventus. What do you think the Knights did so well that gave them the edge and led them to take this in 4 games?
You know, honestly, I think it was Foam. I think Foam had a phenomenal game, and I know he's a very good player, and I know he's a really good third man specifically, but he was able to do a lot on the offensive side of the ball, creating space with demos, creating shots, scoring great goals, and I mean, the double touch there at the very end sealed it for me. I mean, he played great on the offensive side of the ball, on defensive side of the ball, off ball, especially getting the demos. I mean, he definitely was the star player. I thought Fnatic was going to be, like you said, that star player that we looked to, but I mean, it was really Foam that series, and I think he was just too much for that Arrival team to handle.
Like I said, Arrival is now at 7-4, but still has great chances in the playoffs. The Knights are now 5-6 and have drastically increased their chances. Thank you all. Don't go anywhere. We have another series coming up after this. We're going to try to keep this one on time for you guys, so don't go back. And thank you from me and my co-host Ventus. We will see you guys in the next one.
the same blood in the wind. Is this what we created? Where have we started? Did I lose my mind? I'm up against a wall, on the edge, seconds till I fall. I'm high on adrenaline. I see the world burning from within. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Hands up as we fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as we fall, spinning faster. Hands up as we fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as we fall, spinning faster.
You're the best but the worst one for me. I'm depressed but it's working for me. And I'm drowning in the jealousy. Never rains, you and me only pour. Till we're wasted asleep on the floor. Come and waste all my time even more. Maybe we just stick to being stoned instead of always throwing sticks and stones. Cause I'm higher when we're going up in smoke. Cause baby you're bad for me, but don't feel bad for me. Cause I'm in love with the way that it hurts me to stay. Baby you're bad for me, but don't feel bad for me. It's a shame, it's a pain, so let's pop the champagne. I was broken and torn at the seams. Now it feels good that you're using me. You're the favor in all of my dreams. See it red when you're making me blue. And I hate that I think that it's cute when you blush cause you're hiding the truth. Maybe we just stick to being stoned instead of always throwing sticks and stones. Cause I'm higher when we're going up in smoke. Cause baby you're bad for me, but don't feel bad for me. Cause I'm in love with the way that it hurts me to stay. Baby you're bad for me, but don't feel bad for me. It's a shame, it's a pain, so let's pop the champagne. She's not crazy about me, she's just crazy. They call her bad for me, I call her baby. She's not crazy about me, she's just crazy. They call her bad for me, I call her baby. Baby you're bad for me, but don't feel bad for me. Cause I'm in love with the way that it hurts me to stay. Baby you're bad for me, but don't feel bad for me.
0 seconds remaining. He seems to be fighting trying hard for it. Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back.
On the backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? No, hold on. Surely this can't. Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Copenhagen on the goal line. He did
Nearly over.
sweep. It comes through. The venom, the improbable, the impossible. The 4-time champions.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. I'm your very best friend, Gallium, and today we have a banger of a matchup in the Prospect League, potentially deciding the fate of these two teams come playoff time. I'm joined here by my dog, Ventus. How you doing?
You know, I'm doing great. Both of my predictions have been correct so far. I'm going for the clean sweep. I had to root for myself in the 8 o'clock matchup, but you know, I think that I think I have a good grasp. But honestly, Prospect, this match specifically, I think is a complete toss up. I think that both these teams have the ability to completely upset all of my predictions. I mean, Banshees, they're sitting at 2-8, but like they don't feel like a 2-8 team to me. They feel like in that middle of the pack range with the 4 and 6, 5 and 5 teams. And so I'm like, do I root for the underdog in Banshees? Do I think that the Banshees are going to get their 3rd win? Do I think Faded is going to get their 5th win, kind of push themselves into that play-in position? I'm struggling with this right now. So I might say you might give a prediction first, just so I can have a little more time to think.
You know, fair enough. I'm kind of with you on this one. I think both these teams very similar skill level wise in terms of like just the eye test going in. Obviously, I've not seen either of these teams play, but honestly, I'm gonna go with the upset here. I'm gonna go with Banshees here. All right, and I think it's gonna be a 3-1 series. What say you, Ventus?
You know, I'll go on the same train. I think that Banshees are gonna take it. I think that Gala's a really good player, but I think Banshees kind of have that upset. The air in the room is that the upset's gonna happen, and so I think that Banshees are gonna be able to take it. I think that they're gonna be able to take it in 4 as well. I don't want to match your exact prediction, but I mean, with as good as a prediction as that is, I think I have to match it.
Yeah, you know, it's a safe one too. You know, you let them take a game as well. You know, you don't want to guess sweep off rip, but as we get this game 1 underway, it seems as though there's some high-flying action early. Obviously, you mentioned Gala. He was in the Chally League last season. He dropped down to Prospect. He's making a name for himself, and no, bro, almost slammed it past the Banshees defense, but Gala's going to make them pay. Never mind, Aiko just absolutely denying that shot. What a nice save from Aiko. And now Nobro just watching Aiko fly over them as Bino takes control of the ball. I believe Bino is new to Nemesis. I'm familiar with him, but he is new to the Nemesis Gaming League this season, so I'm excited to see how he performs with his newfound team in a new league. Street Soul, obviously the general manager for this Faded squad and for, you know, like 4 other teams. So, you know, he's got a lot on his plate. So I think he's just going to let Nobro and Gala kind of cook for him a little bit. As Bino takes a shot, Gala, nice save early, and it seems as though this Banshee squad, they're wanting to find a goal early here, Ventus.
Yeah, I think both these teams came out pretty aggressively. Faded has the more shots, but I think that Banshees, their rotations have been really solid. I think that they have been playing really solid, like from an aspect of maintaining midfield, making sure they have a member back, not overcommitting on offense, just overall playing a very clean game so far. No double commits either that I can remember. And I think that they're kind of just filling each other out. This might be a shot on net as this ball off the crossbar. Gal looking for the follow-up, trying to get the double touch. Neither team having 0 boost. Neither team from the Banshees having any boost. And overall, Banshees walk away unscathed, but once again, Faded just laying on some early pressure.
I mean, that was almost an insane shot from Gala, but great defense from this Banshee squad. I mean, you have a team here who only has 2 wins on the season. Your back is against the wall. Those are the kind of saves you need to make. You need to make a lot of plays here to get your season out of this metaphorical mud that it's in right now. As Bino sends it over, Aiko's going to get a touch on it. Nice touch. It's going to float in the midfield. Momoko has an opportunity. That was a solid solid effort from Momoko. Could barely get their car over there, but, you know, good effort all the same, as Nobro's just going to dunk out Bino. Nobro takes a touch. Gala, he has an opportunity. He hits the crossbar. Street Soul hits the backboard. And there's just calamity going on early. This Faded team, they want to score first. Neither team could find the back of the net. Maybe this is an opportunity. Momoko against Gala. And Momoko and Gala both thought the other person was hitting the ball. Both playing for 50s. You know, I can relate to that. I don't know about you, Ventus.
Definitely some times where I will play the full block on a ball, and neither player gets the touch because they both are playing the dunk. But I mean, overall, I feel like these teams have been really evenly matched, and this is what we kind of talked about beforehand. Banshees do not seem like a 2-8 team. They seem like a middle of the pack team that is able to compete with the same, like, these middle of the pack teams as well. And I feel like they might have gotten a little bit unlucky early in the season. Faded, obviously, having a couple more wins to their name. But, I mean, they're handling the punches very well. They might be getting outshot a little bit more than Faded. But overall, the defense has been really good from Banshees. They have not allowed any scratches on their sheet so far. And I think that overall it's going to be a very close game. I think Game 2 might be a lot closer. But a backflip there, absolute devastation. Just as I'm hyping up this Banshees defense, a Fields backflip comes out from Momoko. And unfortunately, that might be a hard-fought goal, but it might be a very early deciding goal for this game, as neither team has been able to find the back of the net besides them.
It's not a goal you want to give up, and it's given up in the most unfortunate way imaginable. A little backflip, but wait a second, Aiko might have a goal here. Just barely bounces off, and Momoko can't find the 50. Aiko went up from provisional up to novice, and now is in prospect and seems to be flourishing just fine. So, you know, interested to see how they can, you know, get back into this game here, as, oh my goodness, what a touch from Gala. Nobro with the pass, and it's 2-0 Faded.
Yeah, it seems like the floodgates have started to open. Banshees had been playing really good defense for the most of the game number 1, but in the last minute we've seen a couple cracks, and Faded have capitalized. Gala, both goals to the name. Nobro, both assists. And even though the shot totals overall are pretty similar in 7-9, it just seems like Faded has had that extended pressure where Banshees have had a couple shots on net and then have had to rotate back and haven't been able to reap the benefits of that extended stay.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate when you look at it as, oh my goodness, a little bit of some confusion going on here in the Banshees defensive end, but they almost get it out as 10 seconds remaining. They aren't even in Faded's end right now to try to get a goal. Now they finally arrive, and we'll see if they can't get a goal. They're going to have to get a goal pretty much now, and it's over. Banshees give up Game 1, and Faded, what a dominant Game 1 win from them. I mean, it was hard fought, sure, but I mean, they were just, when they were in the Banshee zone, I felt like they were a lot more threatening. I mean, you see that? That is 11 shots on target. That is insane.
Yeah, I mean, Faded have had a lot of... It seems like they had a lot of pressure, and that came from the midfield. Gala had been playing very well, a lot of presence in that midfield. And, I mean, he has shown up time and time again for this Faded roster. He's top 6. I think he's number 6 in goals per game in the entire Novice League, and I think that he has done really well to kind of make a name for himself to become that star of Faded. And Nobro has done well to complement Street Soul, kind of playing that back third man, allowing those cuts in rotation to occur. And it's allowed this offense to kind of shine and continuously mount pressure, because you have such fast players in Gala and Nobro just being able to cut in rotation just to make sure that the team stays on the offensive side of the ball. And I think overall it's done really well for Faded early on. Hopefully they are able to continue that in this game number 2.
Oh, as we almost have a chance early, just barely off the mark there. Street Soul taking it up the field, and you mentioned Nobro. I am a huge fan of how he's playing so far. Not witnessed them play at all this season, and being right behind Gala in terms of MMR Sal. I was expecting a lot, and he might have exceeded my expectations. We'll see how the rest of the series goes here as Nobro takes a 50 here. And now Street Soul there for the cleanup. Street Soul sends it over to Gala. Gala tries to take a shot, but demos Momoko instead. And what a beautiful play from this Faded squad. 1-0 yet again.
Yeah, and the pressure just seems to mount. It started in game number 1 towards that second half especially, but a demo from Gala there, a double commit in the corner from the Banshees, leaves the net wide open for Nobro to come in and take that open net, giving the lead once again to this faded roster. And Banshees, even though they've had some good offensive opportunities, haven't had any this game. They've been stuck on the back foot, and it seems like Faded has kind of solidified their hold so far on this series.
Yeah, you know, they have really stamped their logo on this series, you could say. As Aiko, almost a great chance. Momoko's got to score this, and what a shot from Momoko. Banshees get their first goal of the series, and what a goal it was.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried when I saw Aiko rotating across the net when the shot came right at that car. And luckily, the Banshees are able to find the back of the net. They do tie up this game, and it's a very good confidence booster, right? They weren't able to score it all in game number 1, so being able to come out, not only get a goal, but also respond to a deficit that they were put into by the faded roster, and just being able to come back is leaps and bounds for this team, able to generate more offense in the future and just settling their nerves a little bit, because, you know, playing on stream can be nervous.
I mean, it's definitely nerve-wracking for sure, and I understand that, you know, some of these players probably have never been on stream before as an interesting play on the Faded defensive side of things. It seems like all of their members have no boost, and it's going to get 50 back into the Banshees' end. Bino with a touch, and Nobro is going to be there to respond. The ball's floating in the Banshees' end, but what a go from Aiko, and oh my goodness, Momoko just almost puts it in the back of the net. Those two have been lighting it up as a duo. Bino has been so stout in the midfield and just playing great defense. So, you know, they all bring their different strengths to the table, but so far, this Faded team, they're not relenting. You know, they're not giving up. You know, they let off their foot off the gas a little bit, and that's what resulted in a goal. And it seems like, oh my goodness, Aiko just almost scored that. It seems like they're trying to get back to their offensive ways, but Banshees right now just shutting them down. Bino just barely ran out of boost, and Momoko is going to make him pay. What a shot.
No, we'll call it a fake. You know, Bino fakes the last defender out, allows Momoko to cut there. Banshees take the lead, and a good play from Momoko being ready in the midfield. And honestly, the Banshees have had a lot of opportunities this game. After I just was complimenting how well Faded has settled into this series, it seems like Banshees have responded quite well. And I mean, I think if Aiko can just put some shots on target. We've seen some great shots coming out from him, but they've seemed to all be off the post. If he can just put those a little bit more on target, I think that the Banshees might even have 1 or 2 more goals, because we saw that ceiling shot almost come to fruition, but he put it off the post. We saw another shot that got followed up by Momoko, but that one was off the post as well. So if he can just fix the shooting a little bit, then I think this team can be so dangerous.
100%. As speaking of shooting, Fade putting a shot on net. Street Soul just racing across the midfield. What a touch coming out. What in the world did I just watch? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I need to see a replay on this, because you see Momoko getting the pinch out, and Bino just absolutely, I mean, that was graceful. He might as well be a figure skater. That was beautiful from him.
Yeah, that doink definitely threw off that last defender and was able to make another goal for the Banshees. Aiko was also there for the follow-up. He could have gotten the shot there as well. But a flippy shot comes out from Nobro, trying to even the scoring early. But this is all 3 members of the Faded roster committing on the offensive side of the ball. They have to get a clear out, and they do so. But, I mean, Banshees has kind of surprised me with how well they kind of responded to this Faded aggression. They weren't able to score it all in game number 1, like we said before, but it seems like they've been doing all the scoring in this game. Street Soul a little bit awkward on the goal line, has to take his time and make a save. Didn't want to own goal that one, but the Banshees just continue to add shots onto their resume this game.
You know, they keep pelting the net, and, you know, it's going to work eventually, but, you know, we'll see if they can finally break the ice here. As Gala, an unfortunate miss from him. Nobro sends it up, but Momoko, I mean, just amazing defense so far. Momoko takes it on their car, tries to get it past Gala, but what a cutoff from Gala on 0 boost. But Aiko, they're there. Nobro gets up for it. Bino tries to get a defensive 50. It's a decent 50. Gala having to 50 it with Aiko, and now Nobro has the ball on top of their car. Momoko gonna send it across the field. Momoko just sends it down, and Nobro, he's scrambling to get back, and I mean, he's not gonna get back for that. The Banshees have ran away with this game too.
Yeah, that's a great beat from Momoko. A good fake there, leaving it for Aiko. Aiko, great shot, putting it past both defenders, playing it to that back right corner of the net. He puts that one on target as well. Banshees taking a 3-goal lead, something I would not have expected. This might be a fourth. There's a skim coming out from Aiko, finding the back of the net, but forcing a save to come out from Street. So a great save there, being able to read that play. And, I mean, even though Banshees take this game, I still think Faded has a lot to look forward to. They did take game number 1 as well. They need to just refine their footing, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I feel like they have been very lackluster. We saw 3 shots in the first minute of gameplay, and they have not touched the Faded nets, or the Banshees nets since. They have not forced out any saves to come out, and that's really been the difference there, is they haven't been able to get anything going on offense.
And that's the unfortunate thing, especially considering how good they looked in game 1, is they looked good in the beginning of this game too, but I think Banshees kind of found that swagger and just, I mean, they were going for some insane stuff. I'm not going to lie. Like, half of those touches, myself, I would not go for those, okay? Because, it's a little risky, but, they don't care. They're on stream. They're having fun. And that unlocks a lot of potential in a lot of teams. It seems to be working for this Banshees team because they're working together in an insane manner. I mean, you had Momoko's shot towards that Faded net, and Bino just being right there in front of the shot to barely redirect it in the back of the net. And of course you have the Momoko fake into the Aiko shot. So these guys work really well together. But as I say that, Dobro is going to find the back of the net, using a little bit of help from this Banshee squad.
Yeah, they must have felt bad, smoking them so badly in game number 2. They wanted to give them another 1-goal lead early on just to reclaim it for themselves, as they were able to do in game number 2. And we'll just chalk it up to a kickoff goal. Unfortunately, those things happen sometimes, and you just got to keep going and learn from that. And Aiko might just do that as he gets a flick past one. That ball is on target, and that's a great play to equalize very early on in game number 3. A great bump as well from Momoko early, just making it a 1v1 and just allowing Aiko all of the space in the world to get a flick past that last defender.
Yeah, I mean, that is just a great play, and you can definitely tell that Aiko plays a little bit of ones. All right, that was a nice play from them, and Nobro, he's up with it early. Nobro seems to shut me up a little bit. What a shot from Street Soul, the general manager, putting the Banshees on notice.
Yeah, and that's a great beat by Nobro. Nobro also kind of gets a bump early on Bino. It might not have mattered, as a great shot coming out from Street Soul, completely catching that last 2 defenders of the Banshees off guard. Faded once again, get the lead, and they're hoping it sticks this time because, the Banshees came out swinging in game number 2, which is kind of unexpected from how game 1 went, but if we know anything about this series, we know nothing about these series, because either of these teams can pop off, either of these teams can win, and honestly, it just seems like that's kind of what happens to Novice League. I think whoever's just on it that game will win it, whoever's better in the series will win it, but day-to-day basis, you never know what could happen with these teams. One team could be a 2-8 team, could upset a 9-2 team. You really do not know what could happen, and I think that's just showing exactly what we mean in this game as well, because Gala, a great shot beating out Bino, and, I mean, Faded look to have regained their form from game number 1.
That is a great shot from Gala. Momoko passes it to the sidewall, expecting Bino to be there, but Bino just a little too slow to that ball, and Gala's going to make you pay 24/7 for those kinds of errors, as we see Gala up with it again. Momoko waiting in the midfield, trying to control it, but it's going to go along the wayside here as Bino sends it down. Street Soul trying to get it down himself, and it's a 1v1 Street Soul versus Mimiko. Street Soul trying to get the demo. That was almost a great play. Now it's a 3v1 going the other way. Bino over to Aiko. Nobro trying his best to recover and get this ball. He does, but he accidentally passes it to Momoko. I am not sure. I'm not sure of what I just watched, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, a great 50 to come out from Aiko. Nobro super awkward, just trying to get a touch, and Momoko reads it perfectly. She's able to put that one in the back of the net. And, I mean, I couldn't really tell you how that play transpired either. It looked like a bit of a rotating ball side transition from the Faded team, and that allowed a couple of miscommits or mistouches from that side. But it looks like they're already back on the offense, trying to get another shot as a save coming out from Momoko clearing the ball away. But I mean, these teams have been much more back and forth. We saw domination from Faded. We saw domination from Banshees. It seems only fair that we see a very even game to come out from both sides.
Yeah, you know, we need to be treated to an even game here. You know, I think both teams are playing at their peak potential here. You know, you're on stream. Game 1, a little bit of nerves. Game 2, still figuring stuff out. But Game 3, that's where it all happens. And, you know, we're getting a prime example of it right here. As a little bit of miscommunication is going to happen. Bino, very stout on the defensive end, saves it away. Gala tries to send it over, but Aiko there to intercept. Aiko sends it off the backboard. Momoko misses their touch, and now it's up to Nobro. Nobro tries to get a pinch, but it's not going to go. Aiko, nice touch past one. Gala tries to get it across to a teammate, instead gets it across to a Banshees player. Bino sends it off the ceiling. This could be very dangerous. Aiko, first one there. Nice touch from Aiko. Momoko has to take a shot, and wow, that was an insane shot, and an even better save coming out from Gala. Aiko with an amazing dunk. Momoko's got to score this, and Momoko will. What a play again from these two.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it was a time coming. These teams have the same exact goals, same exact shots, both having 6 each. Momoko, a great goal there to tie it up. Aiko with 2 assists and a goal as well. Both these teams playing phenomenally. We see trades coming out, blows for blow. Faded getting a lot of offensive pressure. Then we see Banshees coming out with a lot of offensive pressure. Neither team wanting to give up this game because that would put them 1 match point. But it looks like Momoko, another unfortunate own goal. We saw it very early on off the kickoff to give Faded their first goal. Seems like they're going to do it again here. And I mean, it's unfortunate. It's super awkward. No bros there as well, so you got to make a touch. And that one's just going to kind of go in the back of their own net. And that's just kind of a morale hitter there. You know, you're a really unfortunate play, kind of hurts the morale, might hurt their team, but I mean, it was a great shot. So who really was winning?
You know, if you're gonna own goal, might as well do it in style. You know what I'm saying? And it's a little unfortunate, but that's why positioning matters so much. Momoko was just so awkward; they didn't know what to do. As a nice infield pass coming out from Nobro. Street Soul not going to be there, but a nice pop-up from Street Soul. Tries to get the demo. Momoko racing back. Aiko with an insane goal line stop. Prevents this Faded team by going up by 2 yet again. Momoko bumps out Street Soul. Street Soul gets another touch. Now it's up to Gala, who has full boost. Gala, he has to take his time with this. He's going to... Oh my goodness, he misses! But Nobro is going to put it in the back of the net. Faded. They're looking to run away with this one.
No, it was just a pass. Gala liked to just pass it off the backboard, realized Momo was going to be so awkward she wasn't going to be able to read the touch, and then Nobro was going to get the goal. It's a selfless play coming out from Gala. He didn't want the glory, he just wanted the recognition of the pass. And, I mean, I can understand that from his perspective, right? You know, as a player who passes super frequently and 90% of the time on purpose, you know, I can feel with what Gallo was trying to go for there. As this one might be on target again. As Street Soul, a good shot, saved away by Momo. And with just under a minute left, Faded have seemingly taken back the game by the reins and look to close this one out.
Oh my goodness, almost a goal there from the Banshees late in this one. Momoko trying to find a goal that will ease the hurt they're feeling a little bit right now. Street Soul gets it into the corner. 2-goal deficit. Bino, they're going to have to score pretty much now. They want a chance. Momoko tries to fake out Gala. Gala almost bites on it. Momoko just dribbling it back. Gets a flick. Gets the boost. Aiko, a beautiful pass, but it bounces off the ceiling super weird. And now it's up to Gala. Gets it up to Nobro. Nobro, a nice shot attempt, but I think it's merely just a formality at this point. Faded have taken this game 3 in a very, very interesting way, to be completely honest. Both teams, they had some mistakes, they had some great plays, but I think the Banshees just made more mistakes in this one, and that's ultimately what cost them.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you take away the 2 own goals for Momoko, right? And this is a tie game. So maybe they're getting a little bit hard on themselves, thinking like, oh, we could have won that one if I didn't own goal. You know, you just kind of got to wipe the slate clean, go next. A 0-0 game, you know, it's a best of 3, but you're down 0-1. No harm, no foul. Banshees had a lot of pressure, especially in the middle of that series. Faded kind of took it back towards the end. But I mean, once again, you saw a lot of great plays coming out from the Banshees, and they shouldn't really write this game or series off just yet. I think they've been playing very well, and I think they just need to clean up a couple of mistakes, clean up the rotations a little bit. They still got it. I think that, and I'm not saying that just because I predicted them to win. I'm saying that from a standpoint of, watching and analyzing the game. I think Banshees are still in a spot where they can compete very well in this series.
I mean, yeah, they competed in game 3. It was just a little bit of some mistakes going on that ultimately cost them that game, but it's not for, it's not. I think honestly, Faded did outplay them, to be completely honest. The shots were absolutely just banging into the back of the net, and it seems as though they just can't miss at the moment. So we'll see what game 4 holds for us, as Forbidden Temple is our next destination, an ideal vacation for some. My ideal vacation, just to look at it in Rocket League, as some crazy things happen in this map in particular. Nobro tries to take a shot, and oh my goodness, that's on target. Momoko has to make a great stop. Momoko gets it to the side. Aiko, they're gonna try to get up for it, and a nice block from Aiko. Street Soul gets a touch. Momoko tries to find a touch of their own, but it's not gonna go. Bino sends it up high. Nobro back pass to Gala. Gala, he doesn't really know what to do with that ball and ultimately accidentally passes it to Bino, but a big miss from Street Soul. Nobro gonna bail him out here and get the 50. What a play from Nobro here, as Aiko gets a touch. Street Soul last to defend. Beautiful play from Street Soul, and now Gala with more than half a tank can't make the touch. Nobro up to Gala. Gala tries to send it in himself. He almost gets it into the back of the net, but that one's not going to go. And that one was a close one. If he scored that, honestly, it's not looking good for Banshees.
Yeah, and I think that this is just it's a do or die game for Banshees. Obviously, Faded up 2-1 in this series, but I think both these teams are kind of playing super aggressive. They're making a lot of mistakes. We see a lot of missed touches from Faded, a shot opportunity from Gala that wasn't put into the back of the net, maybe a little bit of shooting inaccuracy, and I think it's just the nerves. I think that they don't want to lose this game. I think that Banshees are trying very hard to win, trying to keep themselves in this series. And I mean, it's anybody's game. Neither of these teams has really come out as a clear victor for me, and I think that Faded have had a lot of pressure, but they haven't really put on like that many great shots, to be completely honest. I feel like their shots are just like testing the net and kind of just rotating back, kind of holding the midfield line. So we'll see if they're able to generate better shots or if Banshees are able to start to mount some offensive pressure.
We'll see here as Aiko almost gets a shot there. That would have been on target, but no, bro, there to stop it. A little bit of some 50 action going on here. Momoko bumps one, gets the pass out, but Bino was not expecting that, and I honestly don't blame him. That was an insane play coming out from Momoko. The ball's floating high in the air. Can any member of the Banshees get to it? No, bro's going to get to it first, though. Aiko can't get there. Momoko going to take a touch of their own. Gala gets it out. Bino shooting it. Street Soul. What a save from Street Soul. Bino back out to Momoko, and Street Soul is going to be there yet again, not allowing this Banshees team to score the opening goal. Momoko sends it down. No, bro. A very nice 50 coming out there. Bino gets it to the side, tries to get a beautiful read from Bino, and now it's up to Momoko. Momoko is a little awkward here. It's going to let Aiko go for it instead. A nice beat from Aiko. And it's basically Aiko versus Street Soul right now. A nice bump. Bino tries to get a shot, maybe a pass out to Momoko. It's not going to go. Momoko puts it on target. No, bro. A nice defensive stand there. And did I just see Gala jump off the backboard and bump Aiko? That was ridiculous. Street Soul going to put it in the back of the net, but that was just nuts.
Yeah, it looked like Aiko got a bump on Gala, and then Gala turned that into a bump on Bino, and it allowed them an open net as Bino was committing his last man back. Momoko kind of got the pass to the midfield, and it just opened the pathway for Faded. A crazy, interesting goal, but I mean, honestly, what else could you expect on Forbidden Temple, especially Game 4 Forbidden Temple? You never really know what's going to happen. Another close shot coming up from Gal has to be cleared away by Aiko, and I mean, overall, this game is just so back and forth. I think that Faded have kind of lucked out with that goal. I think that they were able to kind of stave away a lot of that pressure on accident from that bump recovery. But, maybe it was on purpose. Gala had a great bump nonetheless. Kind of allowed a lot of space for Faded. They were able to break out, and with a minute left, that goal might be the difference maker.
Might just be. We'll have to see. Banshees haven't scored in a while, between games 3 and 4. So we'll see if they can't get a goal. Here's Aiko. Sent it to the side. Bino just shooting it on target. Street Soul has to be there. Ball is still dangerous, however. Momoko gets it out, but it's not going to be a very powerful shot. Bino gets a touch, gets another, tries to double it, but doesn't have enough boost to do so. Momoko gets one touch, doesn't have the boost to follow it. Bino sends it down. Street Soul unable to be there. Momoko fakes it out. Now it's up to Gala. Gala with a touch, with a shot. Oh my goodness. That was disgusting, and it's now 2-0.
Yeah, and that one might have been the dagger. A great pop from Gala, a great shot off that corner, getting the perfect bounce there, able to put that one bottom left. That goal gives them a 2-goal lead, and 13 seconds left. Banshee's got to do something, and they got to do it now.
Some kickoff magic has to happen right here as Gala sent it down. I think that might just be it. Street Soul going for a highlight play. You can't really blame him here as Banshees, they lose game 4 and ultimately lose the series 3-1 to this Faded team. What a series from these two teams, but Faded, they edged them out just a little bit, and honestly, that game 4 was their best showing in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that Faded definitely was slowly ramping it up after throughout game number 2, they're slowly ramping it back up. They're getting back into it. Their pressure was getting more. Game 3, it was a lot more. Game 4, it was all the way back to how they won game number 1. Overall, it was just a very good game, a very well played game from Faded. I think that overall they got a lot to be proud of. I know this Banshees team is technically last in the standings, and they're supposed to beat them. But I said this at the beginning. Banshees is a underrated team. I think that their record doesn't show how good they were. They had a lot of great plays. Game number 2, they looked phenomenal. They had so much going for them. Just a couple too many mistakes, a couple too many double commits. But I think that series could go a completely different way in the future.
Yeah, that's just the nature of Rocket League and the nature of this Nemesis Gaming League. As both these teams, they had a great series, but we'll get you guys to what you've all been waiting for, the All-Star reveal coming up next. I'm excited to share who got All-Star this season. Thank you again, Ventus, for casting with me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be watching you. I won't be announcing the All-Stars. I know I'm not going to be on there because I should not be as a Titan League player. But hopefully I'll get to see some other great names coming out. I'll get to see some fun players. All of the Nemesis players that I know. Hopefully the best of the best competing in the All-Star games. So that should be a super fun watch. I'm super excited to hear the announcements, and just want to thank everybody again for watching. It means a lot to us as casters, and we just have fun over here, me and Gallium, just kind of get cast for how we believe. We just have fun, make it special for you guys, and overall just want to give you guys a good experience.
It's always fun with you in the booth, but we're going to take you guys to the All-Star break. So make sure to stick around here, as you're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be at roughly right about now. So peace out, guys.
He puts it in! 0 seconds remaining! Maybe teams are gonna be fighting hard for it. Oh my goodness! Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. Place there's He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. Backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Hold on. Surely this kick. Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Palpatine on the goal line. He did not
Nearly over.
sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions. Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, as we have got a special edition here to end off the night, the moment most of you guys have been waiting for. We have the Season 13 All-Star Reveal and Rockerman back in the booth, joined by the Gallium. And Gallium, this is always a fun part of the night, a fun part of the season to get to reveal who's going to be making the All-Star matches.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. All-Star season is the best season, and I'm just excited to get these teams out into the open air. Honestly, this might be the most hyped up All-Star game I've heard of. Everyone wants to make the All-Star team, and I'm excited to see who finally makes the cut here.
Yeah, no, a lot of great players, a lot of great players in all leagues. It's always tough to narrow it down to only 4 people per league or per conference, so only 8 total players. But we tried our best. So if you haven't heard about how the All-Star voting works, we got a couple different selections here for you guys. We have the fan vote, so the top winner from the fan perspective. That was the general voting that you guys all participated in. So there'll be one fan vote, one general manager selection. So the GMs can vote for anyone that's not in their org, and the GMs decided based on their votes who the best players in each conference were that weren't in their org. And then last but not least, we have the power rankings and commentator selection. So power rankers would vote for their leagues that they ranked throughout the season, and the commentators would vote for matches that they've casted, as long as they've casted enough. So they got those 3, and then last but not least, we have the management selection. Management will select one player as well to be on the team, and then management will also determine the starting rosters and who will be the reserve as well. So I guess without any further ado, Gallium, let's get things rolling. What everyone's been waiting for. We got the Titan League Eastern All-Stars. I want to go ahead and throw them up on there for you guys. We have Kratos from Pinnacle winning the fan vote, Rocky Airs from Bananas with the GM selection, Axel, otherwise known as Bolt, from Blizzard with the management selection, and then Cynical from Pinnacle with the power rankings and commentating selection, going to slide in as the reserve. And Gallium, I'll let you talk about the West.
All right, so for the Western Conference, we have a staple in the Titan League, Bluey, on the Dragons with the fan vote. The general manager selection was Marv from the Spartans. Management selection is going to be JP from Vanguard. And the power ranking / commentator selection is going to be Brandon from Venganza, a Titan League veteran over there. And honestly, both these teams are pretty stacked.
Yeah, no, they are very stacked. I mean, what would you expect from the Titan League? Obviously, some great players, some great performances so far. Dragons near the top of the West so far. Pinnacle near the top of the East. A couple of members on there. Gallium, looking at these players, I mean, who do you like in this matchup? Who do you think is going to take this one on Saturday night?
I'm not gonna lie. I think the duo of Kratos and Rocky Ears is just blatantly unfair. So I'm gonna go the East. I think those two can just take over a series, and they're both historically winners. So I have the East in this one.
Yeah, fair enough. I also kind of like the East, but you got a dangerous group over there. Bluey, JP, and Marv, all definitely insanely cracked players. And for Brandon to be as cracked a player as he is in the reserve, if one of those players can't make it, the reserve can sub in, and if Brandon subs in too, that's very cracked as well. So definitely gonna be a great matchup on Saturday night. That's the last matchup on Saturday. Remember, All-Star festivities start at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. We'll work up through the league, so novice first. Well, I guess the GM Showdown first, then novice, prospect, all the way up to Titan throughout the night. So yeah, congratulations to those winners, and we'll move right along now to the Rival League East. And Rival League East, we have Flip 1010 from the Pineapples with the fan vote, Kisby, who we just saw tonight with the power rankings and commentating selection, Flash with the management selection, and then Afterburner with the GM selection as the reserve there.
My gosh, yeah, that's That's a stacked team, but let's see what the West has for us here as we have Landon from Lightspeed getting the fan vote here. Boy Wonder from Hydra getting the general manager vote, and Sky Newbie from the Bearcats getting the management vote, as well as Ninja Triggerman from Hydra getting the power ranking and commentator selection. What a team that is. And, comparing these two teams, honestly, I have the East yet again. As much as it pains me to say, I have the East again.
Yeah, I know the East. I mean, it does look like a very good team. You get Kisby and Flip on that team. Pair with Flash. I mean, Afterburner, undefeated Grave Lords there, and he's the reserve. So definitely a solid team there. And then the West, a very interesting team. Landon, Boy Wonder taking the top spots. Sky Newbie filling in as the manager selection, and then Dissa as the reserve, another great player on Hydra. They've had a pretty solid season thus far. So yeah, both teams looking very good. Congratulations for sure to all the members that made it onto that team, and we'll keep things rolling. We'll move right along into the Challenger League. We have the Challenger League East. We have Zeke from Race with a GM selection, Mealy from the Griffins with the power rankings and commentating selection, Camden with the manager selection, and then Critter with the fan vote filling in as the reserve in the Challenger League East.
That's a good team. I know we're both in the Challenger League, so I'm interested to see how these two teams shake up. As the West, they have the man from Venom getting the fan vote, Stites from Samurai getting the general manager vote, and Nervebot from Dissolved getting the power ranking and commentators vote, as well as Enrico from the Drakes getting that management vote. So I'm looking at these two teams, and I'm going to have to be completely honest. I have West in a close one. I think both teams are good, but I just think Nervebot and Fort just too dangerous in terms of like pure, they can take over a game in an instant. And Stites is going to be that guy when it comes to shooting. So I have the West in probably like 5, I would say.
That's a fair thing. I think Gallium, if either one of these teams had you or me, it could be a whole different story. But unfortunately, not meant to be this season.
Yeah, I disagree, guys. I've been playing really bad. So good job, voters. Hey, you got it right.
It's been rough. I can agree. It's been rough for me as well. But hey, congratulations to both these teams. I agree. It's gonna be a great matchup. That one definitely has the makings of going to five games. So we'll keep our eyes out for that one as we continue to move along now to the Prospect League East. And in the East, we have Jaegers from Ember with the fan vote, Cognition also from Ember with a GM selection, Nilla, otherwise known as Cream, on Hypernova with the manager selection, and then Sheriff from Minotaurs with the power rankings and commentating selection, grabbing that reserve spot.
I have to say the East is cool, but I'm really liking this West team. We have Speed Demon from the Rooks, the GM, getting the GM vote, which I think is kind of funny. Postman from the Wyverns getting that power ranking / commentating vote, and Ace from the Rooks getting that management selection. So 2 Rooks players off the bat. Brittany the Blade from the Gladiators just returned and is now in the All-Star game. And I have to say, I'll just come out and say it. I think the West has this one in honestly pretty convincing fashion, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. I was actually thinking the exact opposite, Gallium. I think the East can actually take this one in, a pretty dominant fashion. You get 2 Ember members as well. It looks like a battle of Ember versus Rooks almost there. And then you add Cream. I like the East just a little bit more, but I mean, both these teams, obviously some great and well-deserving players for sure in both those conferences. I think it could go either way, but I like the East for sure.
Yeah. It's not even crazy to say that, to be completely honest. I'm just, I think the West just looks better overall, to be honest.
Hey, fair enough. We will have to see on Saturday night for that one. And then last but not least, let's close things out with the Novice League here. Kicking things off in the East, we have Jolly Rogers from the Kiwis with the fan vote, Demoralized from the Gorgons with a GM selection, Skinny Legend from Kiwis with the manager selection, and then Mystic Kiwi also from the Kiwis with the power rankings and commentating selection in the reserve. And, Gallium, these people, they really loved the Kiwis this time around.
Yeah, it seems like a bunch of the people who voted might be affiliated with the Kiwis, guys. We gotta check that out a little bit. But no, I mean, honestly, all these players are really good. I mean, it's hard not to put them all on this list. But the West, they have some heavy hitters. As we're gonna open it up with Chunk Light from Genesis, got the fan vote here. Div from Diffusion got the GM vote. Lucky from Diffusion got the power ranking / commentating vote, and Tizzy from the Vandals got the management selection. So both teams look great. I'm gonna have to lean towards the West yet again. I'm gonna go West. I think that Div and Lucky, they're on the same team, Diffusion, and they're both gross. And Diffusion is undefeated, if I might be mistaken, but
nope, you're correct.
Yeah, they're undefeated. So pretty easy logic for me there.
Yeah, no, it's hard to go against two members from an undefeated team. But having to add Chunk Light, we'll see how they compare. I do love my boy Chunk, but I've seen a lot of times, Gallium, you get these these really good teams. You get two players from the same team. I guess both of them in this case have that same problem. But you get two players from the same team. You add a different third that you're not used to. Sometimes styles can clash in the All-Star matches. So I'm curious to see how both the Kiwis players and the Diffusion players combine with their looking to be their third player from Genesis and Gorgons respectively. So that one definitely going to be an interesting one. That one happening Saturday night as well. But Gallium, that is about it for us for this reveal. You have any final thoughts on the All-Star matches and the All-Star night?
I think it's just going to be a great night overall. I believe it's Saturday, right?
Correct.
I might be wrong. Yes. So we'll see all of those All-Star candidates, clashing. I was in the All-Star game last season. It was super fun. So I'm glad other people get a chance to experience it. And, I just think overall, all these games are going to be bangers. And that's at the end of the day what we want.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of great players, all around. And yeah, this one is going to be this Saturday. All-Star Night starts at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you guys are around for that one. We'll kick things off with the ever-popular GM Showdown. A bunch of wackiness goes on in the GM Showdown, so we're going to kick it off with that, followed by the Novice All-Star match, which will start at 6, and then the matches will follow every 45 minutes after that, all the way up from Novice all the way to Titan. So we'll get all the leagues participating Saturday night. It's going to be another fun night. Good to be back on Saturday Night Rocket League. That'll be a fun time, so make sure you guys tune in for that. And if you're a player that didn't quite make the team, but you're like, I'll be available Saturday night, make sure you guys are around, because if we get two players that aren't able to make it, then management will select some subs, and a lot of time it's on availability, especially on a Saturday night. So if you're around, you can sneak your way into an All-Star appearance. So make sure you guys are around Saturday night for the All-Star matches. It's gonna be a great night for sure. But that is just about going to wrap it up for us. I do want to give a quick shout out to our premium subscribers before we close off the stream, especially our Challenger Plus subscribers: Cortera, Dissa, Earn, Flame Intruder, Insano, Neon's Wiggle, Ado, Fenrir, Jax, Parker, and Sato. Much love for all the support as always, keeping Nemesis running. And a very, very, very big shout out to Mr. JP, who had a huge donation over the weekend here, supporting Nemesis. Big donation, help support the league. So much love to JP. So if you guys see JP, tell him we love that guy. We love that guy, JP. Big shout out JP. But
he's my teammate, so
Oh, there we go.
I'll let him know. I'll let him know you said that.
There you go. Appreciate it. But we appreciate him, everyone else for hanging out with us. Galen, appreciate you as always, hanging in the booth tonight. But that is going to wrap it up for us, folks. We're going to close things off, but we will be back on not Saturday night quite yet. I'm thinking it's Wednesday already. It's not Wednesday. It's only Monday. We'll be back Wednesday for some more Nemesis League play action, and then we'll be back Saturday for the All-Star night. So make sure you guys take care, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.